No, you did not read the title of this video wrong. How many bees does it take to carry a plane? How many beekeepers did the crew of Bee Movie visit before the movie got made? How many of them got stung? We'll tell you all the buzz right here. Released in 2007, the Bee Movie never quite left the limelight thanks to meme culture, YouTube videos, and yes, even protesters. Hi, I'm Tim with ChannelFrederator, and today we're here to give you the scoop about bees, comedic bees, and the honey that keeps getting stolen from them. So get ready for some stinging trivia because we're here to give you 107 facts about the Bee Movie. Let's get started. Number 1. Bee Movie premiered in theaters on November 2nd, 2007. It was Dreamwork's 15th animated feature and released the same year as Shrek 3. Number 2. Bee Movie was directed by Steve Hickner and Simon J. Smith. Hickner also served as the director on The Prince of Egypt, and Smith directed 2014's Penguins of Madagascar. Number 3. The movie was written by a New York comedian. You might know him, Jerry Seinfeld. You know, the one that you always go, "What's the deal with bees?" about. Slap bass not included. Number 4. It should come as no surprise that Bee Movie also stars Jerry Seinfeld as the lead character, Barry B. Benson. You see, it's Barry because it sounds like Jerry, but with a B. Number 5. The movie centers around Barry's adventures. Barry B. Benson is a bee who leaves the hive, befriends humans, discovers that humans eat honey, and sues the human race. Yes, really. Number 6. The movie actually tried to tackle a real-world issue called the colony collapse disorder. A lot of bees died in early spring of '07 in the United States, and a lot of our food relies on bee pollination. Number 7. The issue was so widespread that Burt's Bees, the chapstick company, partnered up with the North American Pollinator Protection Campaign and produced a 1-minute PSA that aired as a lead-in to Bee Movie. Moana had Inner Workings, Wreck-It Ralph had Paperman, and Bee Movie had a PSA about colony collapse disorder. It's an important issue, but you have some tough competition out there for lead-ins. Number 8. Jeffrey Katzenberg spent over a decade trying to get Jerry Seinfeld to do a movie with Dreamworks Animation. However, Seinfeld's busy schedule of comedy shows, shooting TV episodes, and being a father left him with nowhere near enough time to do an animated feature. There's a good lesson in there. If at first you don't succeed, you just have to try over and over again for an entire decade. Number 9. Fans can thank legendary director Steven Spielberg for uniting Seinfeld and Katzenberg. While out to eat, Seinfeld shared the idea for a movie about bees with Spielberg. And after the dinner, Spielberg contacted Katzenberg about the idea. Within 24 hours, Katzenberg gave Seinfeld a call and production on Bee Movie began. Number 10. Ultimately, Seinfeld chose to do an animated movie because he was tired of doing live action work. There are over 90 hours of Seinfeld episodes, so Seinfeld wasn't too excited about stepping in front of a camera again for a movie. Also, a live action movie about bees suing the human race would be a challenge. Number 11. The title of the movie is a riff on the term Bee Movie, referring to low budget movies, which is a little bit odd since the movie had a production budget of $150 million. Number 12. Partially due to star power, Bee Movie raked in $126 million in the US and $160 million worldwide. Number 13. However, the movie garnered less than stellar reviews, sitting with 51% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 54% on Metacritic. Number 14. At the same time, Bee Movie was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the 65th Golden Globe Awards, its only competition being Ratatouille and The Simpsons Movie. You can probably predict how that one ended. Number 15. The star power for Bee Movie doesn't end with Seinfeld. Acting alongside him is Renee Zellweger, who provided the voice of Vanessa Bloom. Number 16. Bee Movie was one of 3 movies Zellweger worked with Dreamworks on, the other 2 being Shark Tale and Monsters vs. Aliens. Number 17. It just so happens that Seinfeld and Katzenberg convinced Zellweger to join the Bee Movie hive during the 2004 premiere of Shark Tale. When you're working in show business, you're always at work. Number 18. Barry's right-hand man, Adam Flayman, is voiced by Matthew Broderick, who's no stranger to animation. He's Simba. Number 19. Matthew Broderick was Seinfeld's first choice to voice Barry's best friend, which makes sense since Seinfeld and Broderick are real-life besties. Number 20. Seinfeld felt that his and Broderick's off-screen chemistry would help flesh out the bees' on-screen relationship. Number 21. Ken's booming voice comes from voice acting icon Patrick Warburton. Warburton has starred in Kim Possible, Robot Chicken, Open Season, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, Family Guy, Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, Space Chimps, and Emperor's New Groove. And that's just some of his voice acting credits. He's done on-camera stuff too. Number 22. Warburton also starred in a handful of Seinfeld episodes, so it's pretty safe to assume Jerry Seinfeld and Patrick Warburton are friends too. Number 23. Ken was named after the Ken doll. Just like his plastic counterpart, Ken in Bee Movie is handsome, stiff, and not the sharpest tool in the shed. Number 24. Associate producer Cameron Stevens' hair was used as a reference for Ken's hair. There's a lot worse ways you could be immortalized in a critically dubious movie. Number 25. Rounding out the rest of the cast are some other big stars, including John Goodman, Chris Rock, Larry King, Ray Liotta, Kathy Bates, Megan Mullally, and Oprah. Yep, they even got Oprah. Number 26. Megan Mullally was originally cast to be Queen Bee of New Hive City, and she even recorded some dialogue for the role, but the character was cut from the movie. Seinfeld was impressed with her delivery though, so he and the story team whipped up the Hunnick's tour guide, Trudy, just to keep Mullally aboard. Number 27. Larry Miller, friend and colleague of Seinfeld, voices the dean of Barry's Academy. Number 28. The head of the story department, Dave Pimentel, did the voice of Hector the Box Boy. Number 29. B-Movie wouldn't have been possible without the help of HP Halo. It's a high-end technology that allowed New York-based Seinfeld to work with the Glendale-based Dreamworks team. Number 30. If you're wondering what HP Halo is, well, it's since been sold and rebranded, but it was a video conferencing software that also allowed document and video sharing, all for the very low price of $349,000. Number 31. Without the use of HP Halo, Smith estimates the movie would have taken 3 times as long to make. At this point, I'd like to point out that we are not sponsored by an ultra high-end video conferencing technology. Number 32. Seinfeld was so committed to the movie that he was present at every recording session, which came out to 135 separate days of recording. Number 33. Needless to say, Seinfeld was very involved with the production. He voiced his opinion on everything from the cars the bees drove to the ties they wore. Number 34. In New Hive City, a perfect report card consists of straight B's instead of A's. Number 35. The hives in B-Movie were inspired by soft, organic shapes of blown glass. Everything in the hive is based on curves. Number 36. Nothing in New Hive City is made of glass. Not even the glasses. Number 37. Due to the lack of glass, cars in New Hive City are almost all convertibles. I assume with the top down always, because otherwise they need the glass. But it doesn't really matter because it's a hive and there's no weather inside the hive. Number 38. Everything in New Hive City is made from either wax or honey, which, does make sense. They're bees. Number 39. The bees of New Hive City obviously love honey. They drink it, eat it, fry it, put it on cereal, and use it to fuel their cars. So yes, the bees in fact put gasoline on their cereal. Number 40. Dreamworks developed a new software to create all the trees in the Central Park scene. The software was named G-Tree, but probably could have been named B-Tree. Number 41. Originally, the movie was so stylized that trees didn't even have branches. The leaves just floated around plants. However, Dreamworks decided that this was too far removed from actual nature. Number 42. Barry B. Benson is 1 inch tall, which is significantly larger than most bumblebees, which come in at a whopping 1 centimeter. Number 43. Vanessa is roughly 60 times the size of Barry, which would put her at 5 feet tall. Number 44. Animators had to cheat Barry's size depending on the scene. In scenes where he flies away, he gets bigger, up to a whopping 3 inches. If animators didn't scale up Barry, he would have become invisible, and it's hard to have a movie with an invisible main character, unless that's like the whole point. Number 45. Jerry Seinfeld has always been fascinated by the bee world. He's specifically interested in the hive, social hierarchy, and work process. Number 46. Prior to B-Movies, Seinfeld had no idea how animated movies were made. In an interview, Seinfeld compared working in animation to going into a petting zoo blindfolded, which both does and doesn't make all the sense in the world. Number 47. To bring him up to speed, Jerry Seinfeld was given a crash course in Animation 101 by Jeffrey Katzenberg. Number 48. It took 4 years, 1 million hours, and 25 million render hours to make B-Movie. To put it in perspective, the original Shrek movie only took around 5 million render hours. Number 49. The animation team created around 1 million bees for B-Movie. If you could do that in real life, you could solve the colony collapse issue. But I've also seen Black Mirror, so I'm not big on the whole creating bees thing. Number 50. How many bees does it take to carry a plane? The scene where the bees lift the plane has approximately 750,000 bees in it. Number 51. According to top-notch bee scientists, a large swarm of bees theoretically could generate enough lift to support a jetliner. Number 52. Unfortunately for the jetliner experiment, at high speeds, the bees would experience vacuum forces between themselves, and that wouldn't work out well for the bees. But you're watching a movie about talking bees, so if you're expecting 100% accuracy, you're probably going to be disappointed. Number 53. Just like his voice actor, Barry B. Benson always wears tennis shoes. So I guess this is 107 B-Movie / Seinfeld facts you should know. Number 54. Originally, Barry and Jerry had more in common than just their tennis shoes. The initial sketches for Barry looked like Seinfeld in a sweater, but Seinfeld didn't love it, so the design team made a couple of tweaks to give us the Barry we know now. Number 55. It's estimated that the design team went through between 800 and 900 different designs before they finalized Barry's. That is way more than a couple of tweaks. Number 56. If you're wondering wondering why it took that many drawings, it's because the design team was trying to balance Seinfeld's familiarity without making Barry look too insecty and unpleasant. Number 57. Barry wasn't the only bee that looked a little too human. According to art director Christophe Lautrette, all the bees originally looked pretty human. To fix the problem, they made them more round, chubby, and fuzzy. Number 58. Seinfeld wanted Barry to look less like him and more like a friend. It implies it might be Costanza? Number 59. The animators on Bee Movie took a trip to San Diego to watch Seinfeld perform in front of a live audience to better learn some of his mannerisms so they could mimic them in Barry. Number 60. On top of that, animators used a lipstick can to capture Renee Zellweger's facial movements during recording sessions, so they could add some of the nuances to Vanessa. That just sounds creepy and weird. Number 61. Chris Rock and Jerry Seinfeld ad-libbed most of their dialogue together. Seems like something comedians probably do a lot in animated films. Number 62. Chris Rock's mosquito character, Moose Blood, was only supposed to have a couple lines in the movie, but after the ad-libs were flying, Moose Blood ended up with more than 50 lines. Number 63. The Pollen Jocks were voiced by other stand-up comedians and friends of Seinfeld, including Tom Papa and Mario Joyner. Number 64. Tom Papa also had a hand in writing Bee Movie with Seinfeld. Two minds are better than one, I suppose. Number 65. In the film, Ray Liotta plays, well, Ray Liotta. Ray ran into Seinfeld early in the production process, and when he found out about the project, he asked to be included. A year and a half later, Seinfeld contracted Ray with the perfect role for him in the movie. Himself. Number 66. Early into production, Seinfeld visited a beekeeper in Long Island. And yes, he got stung. A lot. That's just being dedicated to the craft. Fun fact about stinging, if you have a stinger in you, you should try and brush it off with like a key or a credit card and not pull it out. Number 67. In 2005, the production crew visited local beekeeper Bill Lewis to learn more about bees. They also visited and learned from Thomas D. Seeley, a teacher of neurobiology and behavior at Cornell University. Number 68. Producer Christina Steinberg is allergic to bees in real life, so she probably didn't go on the visit. Number 69. The film's layout artist Jim Bird has a father, Terrence Bird, who also happens to be a beekeeper in the UK. Terrence met with the staff in California and shared his knowledge of bees. Apparently, a lot of the animation process is learning about animals. Number 70. Each lighting team on the movie was named after episodes, characters, or famous lines from Seinfeld. Some of the names include Junior Mint, Cosmo, Yada Yada, and of course, Festivus. Number 71. Around 6 months into making the movie, a lot of the crew members felt guilty about eating honey, so I guess it was accomplishing its mission, at least on the honey guilt eating side. Number 72. Besides feeling bad about honey, after years of production on the Bee Movie, some began seeing hexagons everywhere. Number 73. DreamWorks only built 2 streets and 15 blocks for New York City. I don't have an exact number of streets in Manhattan on hand right now, feel free to comment and let me know, but I assume it's way more than 2 streets. Number 74. Because we live in the world we live in, Bee Movie is something of a cult classic. While it may not have a theme park ride, costume characters, or anything else you'd expect from a big animated movie, Bee Movie has one ace up its sleeve: dank memes. Number 75. Posts began circling around social media sites like Tumblr. On March 16th, 2013, Redditor Bottle Beaches made a Bee Movie subreddit. If you're going to go look for Bee Movie posts, I suggest bmoviereview.tumblr.com. Number 76. In July of 2016, BuzzFeed published an article for everyone who still can't believe Bee Movie is real, which brought a lot of Tumblr posts to light. Number 77. A week after the popular BuzzFeed article, Jerry Seinfeld himself posted a tweet asking if there's any interest for a Bee Movie 2. The tweet got over 47,000 likes, so evidently there is some interest in a sequel, or a bequel. Number 78. Fans went so far as to make a petition on change.org for a Bee Movie sequel. It didn't get that many signatures. Number 79. Bee Movie has a runtime of 95 minutes, but if you're short on time, you can watch it in 7 minutes thanks to YouTuber Avoid at All Costs. Avoid at All Costs took Bee Movie and sped it up each time the word bee is uttered. Number 80. Okay, you actually can't watch the whole movie on that YouTube channel because the editor broke about halfway through the editing, but the movie would still probably clock in a handful of minutes. Number 81. This sped up Bee Movie has 13 million views, and it deserves every single one of them. Number 82. If you're wondering, they say the word bee 172 times throughout the movie, which is a rate of 1.81 times per minute. Number 83. The recent Bee Movie craze isn't all positive buzz. In November 2016, students at the University of North Carolina created a Facebook event to have a protest and burn copies of Bee Movie. A counter-protest event rose in support of Bee Movie, in a very weird place that puts Bee Movie kind of up there with books that get burned burned. Number 84, the B-movie protest group at UNC states that the movie is symbolic of the issues facing America right now and perpetuates it, while the support group says the movie has a strong message and defends it, and argues the fact that it spreads awareness of the dying bees issue. Number 85, despite the sudden and strange hype, Jerry stated that after debating it for 6 hours, he will not be making B-Movie 2. Number 86, Seinfeld considered making the sequel, but feels that a second movie would make the first one less iconic, so he'll pass to protect his art and the movie's message. Number 87, Seinfeld was accused of stealing the idea for B-Movie from a group of Swedish animators who created a movie, Babylon. Number 88, to keep themselves afloat, the average honeybee flaps its wings approximately 230 times per second, which is way more frequent than other insects of their size. All that speed allows them to stay in the air, but costs a lot of energy. Number 89, animating 230 flaps per second is a nightmare, so in B-Movie, the bees flap their wings 6 to 7 times per second during takeoff, and the magic of computers creates the illusion of super fast flapping while flying. Number 90, human characters in B-Movie never actually look directly at the bees. The bees are so tiny that if the humans focused directly on them, they'd look cross-eyed. Number 91, B-Movie is full of Easter eggs. First off, we have Vincent the Bear from Dreamworks' Over the Hedge, who appears in the courtroom scene. Number 92, Vincent is one of the many famous bears that B-Movie pays homage to. In the same scene, Barry also mentions Yogi Bear and Fozzie Bear. Number 93, and who could forget a not-so-subtle nod to Disney's favorite honey lover, Winnie the Pooh. Although there's something a little upsetting about watching Pooh get sniped. It's not his fault he's hooked on honey. Number 94, Barry B. Benson's last name itself is likely an homage to the TV series Benson, which was Seinfeld's first TV gig. Number 95, there's also a B version of Larry King. Number 96, if you want to smell like honey for the special honey in your life, you can pick up some B-Movie cologne. It exists. The cologne goes for just under $15 on Amazon, but the opportunity to smell like a CGI bee is priceless. Number 97, there are over 3,000 jobs available to bees in New Hive City. That's not too shabby. I would assume that's more than bees actually have. Number 98, all of these jobs are at Hunex, the honey factory, and some of them include heating, cooling, viscosity, Krellman, pollen counting, stunt bee, pouring, stirrer, humming, regurgitation, front desk, hair removal, chef, stripe supervisor, antennae ball polisher, mite wrangler, swatting counselor, wax monkey, wing brusher, hive keeper, and of course, restroom attendant. Number 99, the bees in B-Movie haven't had a day off in over 27 million years. Number 100, Dreamworks seems to be fond of New York City, as B-Movie was their third movie to take place there, the others being Ants and Madagascar. Number 101, the famous scene where Barry is stuck to the tennis ball was one of Seinfeld's earliest ideas for the movie. Number 102, bee clothing was one of the most challenging things to design for the movie, because Seinfeld wanted stripes on every piece of clothing. Number 103, gamers and B-Movie fans had the opportunity to play as Barry B. Benson in the B-Movie game. The game revolved around saving the bees' production of honey. I'm assuming the game had less to do with a romance between a human and a bee, but I'm not sure. Number 104, and it's not like this was some fringe release, the game was available on Xbox 360, Windows, PlayStation 2, Nintendo Wii, and the Nintendo DS. It's also worth pointing out that the Xbox, PlayStation, and Windows versions of the game were developed by, wait for it, Beenox. Number 105, it's time to break out the tinfoil hats, cause this one's a doozy. As we know, every TV show or movie has its own bizarre fan theories, but this one might take the cake. In April of 2016, a Twitter user posted a fan theory on Twitter that Freddie Benson from Nickelodeon's iCarly is the son of Barry B. Benson and Vanessa Bloom.
That's insane.
And if your mind's not blown yet, there's more. Number 106, the theory postulates that Mrs. Benson on iCarly is actually Vanessa, that she actually killed Barry, and that's why Mrs. Benson is so overprotective on iCarly. It also helps that Mrs. Benson and Vanessa kind of look alike. And finally, number 107, the theory got even crazier when Nathan Kress, the actor who played Freddie Benson, came out and confirmed the theory in July. I don't know if there needs to be a sequel to B-Movie, but there has to be someone telling that story. Thank you for watching 107 Facts About B-Movie. Did we miss anything? Do you have a favorite part of the movie now? Do you have a newfound appreciation for the movie that you didn't have before? Comment below and let us know. We have new videos dropping every week, so be sure to let us know what animated film or TV show you want us to cover next. And if you like getting more from your cartoons, be sure to subscribe to Channel Frederator, your cartoon central on the internet.